Hello everyone and welcome to GreekPilot Sim channel. I'm thrilled to have you here for my very first video. I'm a professional pilot and on this channel I will be sharing my passion for aviation through detailed flight tutorials, live streams and tips from my own flying experiences. I thought it's a good idea to start the channel with a short trip from Düsseldorf to London Heathrow. We will fly in a beautiful Airbus A320 from Fenix Simulations in the colors from the virtual airline of Eurowings. This flight will give you a glimpse into what's like to fly a commercial airliner on a popular European route. I hope you enjoy this flight. As this is my first video, your feedback is incredibly valuable to me. Please leave your comments and let me know what you think and how I can improve. If you like what you see, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more aviation content. As you see, I'm already preparing the aircraft for our flight to London Heathrow. This gives me the opportunity to tell you what I have in mind for this channel. My idea was to combine the flight simulator with a real aviation. What do I mean with this? I will provide in-depth flight tutorials to show you how to execute various flight techniques, from basic maneuvers to advanced procedures, like what is an SID, how do we fly a SID, what is a holding, how to fly the holding, what are the different approaches, and how do we fly these approaches. My idea is to keep it in a format like a virtual classroom, or maybe short videos with some theoretical knowledge, but also based or more or less executed afterwards with the flight simulator to show you first the theory and then we will do the practical part. My goal is to create content for a broad audience, everyone who loves aviation, whether you're a flight simulator enthusiast, thinking about starting your flight training, currently in training and about to get your first license, already a licensed pilot preparing for assessments. I aim to provide valuable content for you. I will do my best to create content that meets and combines the needs and interests of everyone. Another topic on this channel will be some flights from A to B, like today's video, and of course some live streams where you can join me in real time as we explore together different routes and destinations. I'm planning a lot of other stuff to upload, but let's stop now the introduction and continue with the preparation for our flight to London Heathrow. I'm configuring the FMC for our flight and I've already uploaded our flight plan and downloaded the winds which we need, of course, to have our flight time. Then via the load sheet, which you can see on the right FMC, we have our estimated weights of the zero fuel weight, the center of gravity of the zero fuel weight, and of course we have to put in our fuel on blocks. This means the fuel at the gate now, which is 7.5 we requested, and let's see if they give us really the 7.5 tons. After this we go to the flight plan page and we will see which departure is suggested and which arrival also. As we can see here from our navigraph, we are departing from the runway 23 left, which we are now selecting via the FMC. 23 left. And now we will search for our SID. There it is. Alright, it's in the flight plan. Now, let's see what is the arrival for London. Alright. And we're doing the same. One moment. and we are doing the same also for our destination aerodrome. Just checking also the weather now in London. All right. Now we click on the destination. Our expected runway. And our star. It's called star. And via transition. And done. So our flight plan is ready. Let's see if it's closed. Flight plan is closed. We copy this flight plan in case of an emergency when we are departing from Düsseldorf. We can use this. We can see also it's 1 hour and 4 minutes flight time, which is calculated in the FMC. Here we can see again the weather in Düsseldorf. What is the QNH? 1011. Boarding is starting. And the IRS aligns in 3 minutes. Now we have some time to see our departure. Okay, it's Emudro 1 Tango. This is the routing. Intercept 232 bearing towards Delta Yankee at 3.4 nautical miles, right turn. And we can, as soon as the iris is aligned, cross-check it with the inputs we made on the FMC. For now we can tune in the Delta Yankee ADF frequency. The other frequencies we have to wait for the alignment. Now we have some time. 2 minutes. Let's look outside. Boarding has started. The bridge is on the plane. Fuel truck is disconnected. We have enough fuel and the baggages arrived. Here you can see the new feature of GSX. The passengers are walking in the aircraft, into the aircraft, but they're disappearing now. I think this is a bug, but actually you can see the passengers sitting on their seats, and when the boarding is completed, then you have a full airplane. Okay. Now we can see them sitting. Yeah, that's a quite nice feature from GSX. But I think for now it's just only for the A320 from Fenix Simulations. Hopefully they will do an update. So, iris is aligned. We can continue now. The frequencies are in the FMC. We have always the ILS frequency of the active runway on active in case we have to come back to the airfield for, let's say, an engine failure, engine fire. It's set and ready to use when we need it. We've put on VR1 frequency the Düsseldorf frequency for our departure. And now we will check if the profile fits with the chart. We can see it, right turn, left turn. Right turn, left turn. Back to arc mode. And yes, as I said, in case of engine fire, we will, departing from runway 23 left, engine fire or engine failure, and then we will climb just straight ahead. So it helps if we put in our FMC a line which shows us, which guides us through the extended center line. We have an initial climb clearance of 5,000 feet. We will tune it in. 5,000 feet is set. Okay, that's done. More or less we are set up now. Let's tune the com frequency 122.8. It's the Unicom frequency on the VATSIM. We are flying online today on the VATSIM servers. Hopefully we will get some radar coverage. As I see now, it's, oh look, the cabin is full. Yeah. As I see now, only London has the tower coverage available. Hopefully we will reach on time and the tower will be online on our arrival. Let's wait to board also the last packages to the plane, and then we are ready to go. Yes, and when the boarding is completed, then we will get our final load sheet with the correct values, which we have to type in the FMC again, and to see if we are in the correct range for the weights, for the center of gravity, and this gives us also the trim position for our departure and our takeoff speeds.
Düsseldorf traffic, Hamburg 6 prime, Lima, runway 23, located, 23 left, correction, located.
I've put now the ADF on to assist us on the departure, just for situational awareness, because we are actually flying the part of the SID as an RNAV overlay via GPS, but if there's any failure, that's why we put in every frequency to switch over to the conventional SID. Now the new weights arrived, we put it in. And now we are calculating our takeoff. Our actual weight, and X on. Usually we make our departure with pegs off. What are the pegs? More or less the air conditioning system for the passengers. It's with pegs off usually to get more power from the engines, but there's no need now. So pegs on, and we got our speeds. 133, 146, and again 146. Our shift is 500 because of the selected intersection for the runway. Flaps config 1, and 0.1 up is our trim position. Flex temp is 53 degrees. What is the flex temp? It's a temperature which is not real, but we are trying to confuse the computer that it's actually warmer than it's now on the ground. What is the purpose? We can take off with the lower thrust setting, so you save some life from these engines. Now the thrust reduction altitude and acceleration altitude is usually 1500 above ground. I've put it now here on, but of course Düsseldorf is not on sea level, 140 feet above, so 164, and engine out acceleration altitude, let's say also the same. Now we are ready. So let's put the beacon on, because we are about to start the engines, and usually the GSX automatically prepare the aircraft for the pushback, but now it's not working. Let's put it off again, the beacon, start the APU. While the APU is starting, let's accept the load sheet, cross-check again the weights. Are correct, and we accept the load sheet. As soon as the APU is running, we will try again with the beacon. So the APU is coming up and it's available. So beacon on. Nothing happens, so let's push back manually. Here's the menu. Prepare for pushback and departure. Great.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
We are waiting for the pushback truck. Here it is.
Locking gear. Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines
Now we're starting the bleed
Start
air.
at will.
Meine Damen und Herren, auch die Kabinebesatzung möchte Sie ganz herzlich an Bord dieses
And we're
Flugzeugs
starting engine number
Bitte stellen
2.
Sie Ihre elektronischen Geräte jetzt in den Flugmodus. Sollten Geräte aufgrund ihrer Größe nicht in die Sitztasche passen, müssen diese zum Rollen, zum Start und ebenfalls zur Landung in
The
Handgepäck
purpose of
gesteuert
the bleed air is
Ladies and gentlemen,
that
welcome on board
the two engines, they
they
need air to start up. Yeah. Since we have the APU running, the engines take air from the APU. So there's an initial pump to the engines, which gives a rotation, and if it's strong enough, then the engine will run up, spool up. So engine number 2 is available, and we will start engine number 1.
Please set parking brakes.
Pushback is completed, and now we're stopped.
Turn the front part, form the wings, and turn the rear part of the cabin. The cabin floor lighting system directs you to the exit. Sollte der Druck in der Kabine sinken, fallen automatisch Sauerstoffmasken aus der Kabindecke. Ziehen Sie eine der Masken an sich heran. Um den Sauerstoffzyklus zu starten, drücken Sie sie fest auf Mund und Nase und streifen das elastische Band über den Kopf. Auch in den Waschräumen stehen die Sauerstoffmasken zur Verfügung.
And now the
In
marshal
lightning
arm
event of loss of
disconnects
cabin pressure, oxygen mask will automatically drop from the cabin
the
ceiling.
bypass
Go
pin,
on down, press it firmly
and
over
he
your
will
mouth and
show
nose,
us the
and move
bypass
elastic
pin.
band over your head.
It's important because if
Bypass
the bypass pin stays connected
Left is
to
clear. Right is
the
clear.
front gear, we can't steer the aircraft.
Eine
So,
Schwimmweste
flaps
bringen Sie
one.
Ziehen Sie diese nur auf Anweisung der Besatzung heraus. Ziehen Sie die Schwimmweste über Ihren Kopf. Lassen Sie das Ende in den vorderen Verschluss einrasten. Und ziehen Sie den Gurt straff. Erst nach dem Verlassen des Flugzeuges über die Notausgänge ziehen Sie den roten Griff, um die Weste aufzublasen. Die Weste hat außerdem ein seitlich angebrachtes Ventil, das zum Aufblasen sowie zum
There's the
Ablassen
bypass
Luft
pin.
benutzt werden kann. Und die Signallampe leuchtet auf, sobald sie mit Wasser in Berührung kommt. The life jacket is located under your seat. Take it out on command only.
Speed
Put the
brakes
life
are
jacket over
armed.
your head. Get the end in the bottle in front.
The purpose of arming the speed brakes is
Only
when
after
we
moving the
reject
aircraft
our
over the
takeoff,
emergency exit, pull the red handle to inflate the life
they
jacket. The life
automatically
jacket has one valve on the side to increase or decrease air pressure, and the signal light up on contact with water.
deploying the speed brakes, and it gives us an extra brake action stop the
Für alle
aircraft
wichtigen
on
Sicherheitsinformationen
the
finden Sie
runway.
nochmals auf dieser Karte, die sich in der Sitztasche vor Ihnen befindet. Bitte prägen Sie sich insbesondere Lager und
And now we
Handhabung der
can start
Notausgänge ein.
taxi.
All important safety information can be found on this card, which is located in
We will taxi now out of our
Please take note of the location
position
and handling of the emergency exit.
to taxiway Mike. We turn right on Mike.
Zum Start bitten wir Sie nun,
All
Ihre
the way
Sitze
down
zurechtzustellen und Tische hochzuklappen. Abschließend möchten wir
to
erinnern, dass alle
intersection
Eurowings-Flüge nicht
Lima
rauchfähig sind
3
und das Rauchen zu keiner Zeit
of
gestattet ist.
runway 23
Einen
left.
angenehmen Aufenthalt bei uns an Bord und bedanken uns für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. For takeoff, please adjust the backrest of your seats in upright position and pull up the table. Please note that all Eurowings flights are non-smoking flights and smoking is not permitted at any time. We wish you a pleasant stay on board and thank you for your attention.
Brakes are checked and taxi light now on. And now right on Mike. Although we have our checklists, which I have also on my desk, the Airbus has the good feature that it shows us the relevant checks for some stages of flight. So for takeoff, we can see at the FS panel, it's the middle one. For takeoff, auto brake to max, signs are on, cabin is ready, spoilers are armed, flaps to takeoff position, and then we have just
Hi,
to
Captain. The
push
cabin is now secure
the-
for takeoff.
one moment. The takeoff config test. Everything is green, everything is nice. So we are ready for our departure. Now we are crossing the intersection Lima 4, and the next one is the Lima 3. What are usually the next actions? When we are on Lima 3, there is a holding point. There we need to stop. But now we have no controllers, we have no other traffic, we will pass it. But if ATC doesn't give you the clearance to enter the runway, you are stopping on this holding point here. When we get the takeoff clearance, then we are turning on the landing lights and the strobe lights. We also look right and left if the approach sector is clear or not, or and if the runway is clear. We turn on our transponder so other aircrafts can see us and to help the TCAS system to avoid any collisions. Landing light on, Strobe lights on. Takeoff clearance received. And lining up. We are ready to go, so we don't have to stop. %, N1, stabilized, and thrust set. Flex temp is 53, SRS, 80 knots. V1, rotate, positive climb, gear up, small corrections, and following the flight directives. So I will put on the autopilot one on. Usually I fly over the SID, but now for video purposes, let's put the autopilot on to watch a bit outside. There's Düsseldorf. We are about 200 knots, flaps up. We can see the flaps are retracting. And I've tuned in our final altitude of flight level 320. There's the airport. And since we passed the transition altitude of 5,000 feet, we have to change on standard. And we are now flying on flight level. So we are passing flight level 65 now. And this has the purpose of, because of the different atmospheric pressure on every airport, above a specific altitude, in Germany it's usually 5,000 feet, you have to switch to flight level. This assures that every airplane above 5,000 feet has the same altitude with everyone else in this area. If you are flying on QNH, so below 5,000 feet, you will have slightly differences. As you see, as you saw, we had in Düsseldorf, I think QNH, the atmospheric pressure was 1011. The standard atmosphere pressure is 1013. So there's a difference of 2. And if I remember right, 1 millibar is 27 feet. So let's say 30. So we had difference of 2, that's 60. We would have not the correct altitude on our instrument. and because of the separation, it would be not a big problem with the minibus 60 feet, but the difference can be, of course, much greater. So we passed also flight level 100, turned off the landing light. Usually you can now turn off also the seatbelt sign, but you see some clouds, and let's wait a bit not to get in turbulences. Let's clear our inputs so the FMC can automatically get the next stations which we need, and we can release the cabin more or less. Seatbelt signs off. Great. So far so good. Aircraft is climbing, also accelerating. We are now actually still on our SID. And yeah, I would say sit back, relax and enjoy the flight.
selbstverständlich das Sortiment zu den ausgewiesenen Preisen zur Verfügung. Falls Sie Interesse an Produkten aus unserem Wingshop haben, melden Sie sich gerne bei uns. Vielen Dank. Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly begin our service. You will find our collection, our EurowingsVirtual menu plate in the seat pocket in front of you. Guests who have booked with a smart fare will be served a tasty snack, including sandwich with choice of cold cottage cheese and non-alcoholic drink. Guests who booked our basic fare can choose from the menu at the shown prices. If you are interested in something from our wing shop, don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
As you can see now, we have a message in the FMC that it's time to enter the destination data. What we need for this? First of all, we need the weather. Usually we hear via the com frequencies the ATIS for the desired aerodrome, in this case London Heathrow. I will take the weather now from Navigraph. How do we enter this data? We push on the performance page, then we click next phase, and then we have the approach phase. And here's the weather from Navigraph for London Heathrow. We have the wind, we have the temperature, and very important again, the QNH, which is 1011. All this data now, we just click it in, QNH 1011. Then we have the wind 250 degrees with 14 knots. And now the temperature of 15 degrees is set. On the right column of this page, we need to fill out the minima for our approach. Is the ILS on runway 27 left, so 277 feet baro, and we put it in baro because it's not a cut 2 or cut 3 approach. With a cut 2 or cut 3 approach, then we put these figures in the radio altimeter. Now destination data is set, and we continue our flight with calculating also the landing. What we need for this calculation is more or less our weight at destination aerodrome. So we go to the EFB, select the runway icon, cross check if everything is filled out correctly in the first row, London Heathrow 27 left. Then we apply the current weather from Flight Simulator, real weather. And we see there we have the gross weight. It's our actual weight. What fuel flow do we have? We can subtract this. And then we calculated approximately our gross weight landing. Here we see London Heathrow down in the last row. Estimated fuel on blocks 4.9. What we have now 5.6. 700 kilos. Not too much, yeah. Two digits only. And max reverse. And there we have our distance that we are requiring for our landing. Let's say 2100 meter. Our descent will start in 30 nautical miles. You can see this on this white arrow, which is pointing downwards. I check now the altitude, where we have to be and which altitude. Lima Alpha Mike is the point where we have to be on flight level 70. Not above and not below. Exactly flight level 70. Alright, now we have some minutes before we start the descent. So we're about to descend, to start our descent. I've pre-selected flight level 70. And about 1 nautical mile to go. And now I initiated the descent by pushing the altitude knob on the, let's say it, autopilot panel. We started to descend. It's important while descending to align with this green dot, as you can see at the altimeter, and the system automatically shows you the speed band which you have to be inside to commence the correct descent angle.
Make sure that you have stowed your hand luggage safely. Check that your seatbelt is fastened and set your electronic devices are in flight mode until we reach our final parking position.
In front of us is the waypoint Logan.
Put your seat in an upright position and pull the tables away. Thank you.
And from Logan we will fly straight ahead on a heading of 263 to Lima Alpha Mike, which is the Lumbern VOR. And this is our route for descent. We call it STAR, arrival route for London Heathrow. So now finally we are over the Lima Alpha Mike VOR, exactly on flight level 70. And we've started our approach for the runway 27 left.
Cabin crew takes seats for landing.
According to the chart, we can descend on flight level 60. We turn on the landing light because we are going to pass the transition altitude. When descending is the transition layer between flight level 70 and 6000 feet. I activated the ILS indication, So we can see in magenta our distance from the threshold. A nice left turn over the suburbs of London. Now we have to switch to QNH 1011 and we are on altitude 5,400 feet. Because we are gaining speed, we can use our speed brakes to counteract to this action. So speed reduces and we can descend to our desired altitude of first 3,000 feet and then to 2,500 feet, where we will catch the glide slope for our ILS approach.
Diesel traffic 74 Alpha airborne passing 2,000 feet, decline over 2320, runway 1 Foxtrot, departure, diesel traffic.
Oh, this heading will guide us to the localizer. And as mentioned before, you can see the magenta indication. So turning into the final course, and we are on a good altitude. The localizer is also alive and aligning. I call this always diamonds, this magenta diamonds, and they have to be centered. So the diamond on the bottom needs to be in the middle. This is the localizer, which gives us the horizontal distance to the extended runway. Gear down, flaps 2. We are decelerating, that's good. And the right diamond is the glide slope, which gives us vertical guidance. So we are 7 nautical miles away. Flaps 3. Missed approach altitude is set. It's 2,000 feet initially. Speed is good, 5 nautical miles, and now we can consider if we go to flaps 4 or to wait until 3 nautical miles. I prefer to be slightly before stable with full flaps.
Zero traffic, 03 Lima calling to downwind, runway 27 left.
And now we can do the approach checklist. Gears down.
1,000.
Manual thrust. Autopilot off. On glide, on localizer.
400. 300.
We are descending a bit too fast.
100 above.
Small corrections.
200. Minimum. 100.
Slightly small gust from the left. Correcting.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
And flare. Okay. Wasn't the smoothest landing, but I'm comfortable with this. It's always an issue with the Fenix to make a good flare face. But it was okay. So, full reversers. We're set.
Meine Damen und Herren,
Thrust on
herzlich
idle
willkommen
again.
zum Flughafen. Bitte bleiben Sie zu Ihrer
Vacating the
eigenen
runway.
Zeit noch so lange angeschnallt sitzen, bis wir unsere endgültige Parkposition erreicht haben und die Anschnallzeichen über Ihnen erloschen sind. Der Kapitän und die gesamte Besatzung möchte sich nun von Ihnen verabschieden. Vielen Dank, dass Sie heute unsere Gäste auf diesem Eurowings-Flug waren. Wir wünschen Ihnen einen schönen Aufenthalt hier und in der Umgebung und sagen nochmal Danke, Tschüss und auf Wiedersehen.
We are vacating the runway via November 6, and then we will taxi via Echo. Now we are on Echo.
The captain and the entire crew would like to say goodbye to you. Thank you for being our guest on this Eurowings flight. We wish you a nice day.
Then
here.
via
Mr.
Bravo.
Rowley, we say thank you, take care, and bye bye.
So the next right. To the gate 224. We cleaned up the aircraft, flaps up and speed brakes, cross check up, while vacating the runway we turned off the landing light and the strobe lights. And we are starting the APU.
You reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure. Our ground will help you complete your journey.
Heathrow traffic, speedbird 3 Lima Golf, base 27 left, Heathrow.
So we are approaching now our parking position on gate 224. It's on terminal 2A, which is on our left side now. 226, 225. and 224. And GSX assist us by the parking procedure to be in the middle, turning off the taxi light. Alright, parking brake is set. Engines are off, beacon off, and we release the cabin.
Boarding requested.
External power on, and the deboarding can start. So welcome to London Heathrow. And that's it. Thank you for watching my very first video. I hope you enjoyed the flight from Düsseldorf to London Heathrow, and if you enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment with your feedback. I would love to hear what you think and how I can improve. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more aviation tutorials, live streams and trips like this. Whether you're a flight sim enthusiast in training or a seasoned pilot, I'm excited to share this journey with you. Stay tuned for more content and feel free to suggest topics you'd like to see in future videos. Thanks again for joining me on this adventure. Until next time, safe flights and happy landings.